Coming to you pre-recorded from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm going to do a Game 3 reaction to the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Oh no! We lost. Okay. I won't talk about Benedict Mathurin no more. Watch, he's going to go off now. But I'm not going to talk about him anymore. I'm sad. Let me say this and then I'll stop. I'm sad for Ben Mathurin. It's my I'm sad for Ben Mathurin. I saw Ben Shepherd come into the game before Ben Mathurin, and I'm like, just riding. We're going with Shepherd. Shepherd did. We're just, you know what? We're just gonna love Shepherd. And then Mathurin's still finessing playing time, and it's like, man, you know what? Maybe I'll talk about it later. Maybe I won't. I'm sad for Mathurin, still rooting for him, but until he does good, I won't talk about him again. I promise. Not in the context that I'm capable of. All right, deep breath. Seriously, before we get into this game, let me paint you a picture, okay? It's not an excuse or a justification, okay? Metaphorically speaking, let me just give you a picture of the radar, what the weather, what the atmosphere was, okay? These aren't excuses. This was what was on the radar for Indiana, okay? This is race weekend, all right? I don't know, some of you guys may not know, the Indy 500 is a big part of our DNA. Like, it's been around longer, much longer than the Pacers, like significantly so. It's branded within us, okay? Indy 500 is a big part. Like, if you live in Indiana, you're from Indiana like I am, even if you don't like the Indy 500, it is branded in you. You have an understanding of the Indy 500 if you live here in Indiana. If you don't, maybe you do, maybe you don't. No. Big part of our DNA. Okay? You can't talk about Indianapolis without talking about the Indy 500. It's the biggest sporting event. It's a spectacle. It's an all-weekend thing, okay? Carb day, race day. They're partying, they're drinking. It's an atmosphere. It's its own vibe, okay? So, as it turns out, the Pacers have never won when playing on race day. Apparently, it was the fourth time we lost. We never won. It's not exactly something we're used to. Okay? That's not an excuse why we lost, all right? It's not an excuse why we lost. If it's an excuse for anything, it's an excuse for feeling ourselves and doing a premature victory lap when we were up by 20 points. We never really recovered from that. Add that with the fact the Knicks fans were legitimately doing witchcraft before the game. I saw video. There was a fire. They're chanting and they're marching around. There may or may not have been baby blood. They were speaking Latin. I learned how to say go Knicks in Latin, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not rooting for the Knicks, okay? I'm just saying. There's some weird shit going on. So it's a weird day. It's a weird weekend. In the fourth quarter, I'm trying to put my kids to bed, changing poopy diapers. I didn't have my lucky jacket on. I feel like that goes without saying because I don't lose in the lucky jacket. Okay, so it's a wash game. It's not an excuse for losing. I'm just, I painted you a picture. That was the weather. That was the forecast. This is what we're dealing with right now. And fucking right into the Indy 500 winners waltzing in, like waving and shit. Like, I don't know about this, man. Dude looks a little touched to me. He just got done racing. The fuck's he doing at the game? Did he get time to take a shower? I don't know. Like, what the fuck? But he was wearing Pacers gear before the thing, so I should be nicer. All right, I think I've done enough of that. All right, let's give some kudos to the Knicks, man. I don't want to do it either, all right? What was the word I used what was the nice thing I said about the Knicks before the series? The word that I came up with, no, I didn't come up with it, but the word I used was grit, right? The Knicks finally showed some grit. I take my blue and gold glasses off. I took my Pacers jacket off for this one. Okay. They had some. I mean, it's a great basketball game in a way. You know, it was great. Knicks showed great grit because I mean, you know, the Pacers when the Pacers hit that 20 mark, the Pacers must have did the same thing I did, right? Like we should just start running them. You know, they checked out. Like but that's no excuse, right? Like the Knicks, like I said in the comeback video from Game One, you know, they still got to take it. You know, as much as we give it away, the Knicks still got to go out there and take it. They showed outstanding grit, resilience. You know, because it was admirable. I mean, you know, if you're Jarrett watching, sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to do that. But if you're Jerry watching, you don't realize, you know, it's easy to think the Knicks are up. But once I started running on my mouth and they cut that shit down to 13 going into halftime, I was like, man, I just jinxed this shit, bro. I know better than this. I spoke too soon. But like it wasn't flashy, right? It was gritty. It was just gritty by the Knicks. So they overcame foul trouble. A lot of resiliency there, along with that's another word you could use. They overcoming the foul trouble. My main takeaway is the series isn't over, right? Let's get in. We're going to talk about the Knicks stats first. We're going to some player stats for the Knicks, okay? Karl Anthony Towns, right? We mentioned they overcame foul trouble. That was a part of their resiliency. Karl Anthony Towns, he was the heart and soul of this game, right? And I can walk away more with just a little bit. And I'm going crazy here, but I can walk away from that game and have a little bit more respect for Karl Anthony Towns' heart and resiliency, his grit, right? That was something I said that I liked Miles more on in that area, even though Karl Anthony Towns is technically the better player. I liked Miles Turner's heart and resiliency. But Karl Anthony Towns was the epitome of this game for the Knicks. He was the grit. He was the resilience. He overcame foul trouble. And, you know, Brunson closed the game. Let's not get it too fucked up because Karl Anthony Towns only had 24 points at the end of the day with 33 minutes, but he did damn near all of that in the fourth quarter. What was it, 20? Karl Anthony Towns had 33 minutes, 24 points, 15 rebounds. He did have 6 turnovers. I got him, you know, I got to hate on the turnovers, bro. Karl Anthony Towns was 3 of 7 from the 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. You know, he showed, I could walk away from this game showing a little more respect towards Karl Anthony Towns' heart and resiliency because that was one of Karl's best games I've seen. And I've seen him have statistically better games. But, you know, he was down by, they love show, they was down 20. It was like, it wasn't even halftime when they was down by 20. But they cut it down to 13. And even in the third quarter, you know, the Pacers were doing good. But that fourth quarter, Karl took over the game. That's just what happened. Yeah, it's funny, man. Thibs getting credit. Thibs finally using his bench. He only used them because Brunson and Cat had like 4 fouls in the first half. Like, let's just chill out giving Thibs too many flowers, bro. He had to. Why'd he wait? Really, it was like before that. It was like, why is he waiting till he got a bunch of fouls? Like normally you take him out sooner. He didn't. He didn't take him out till he had to. Brunson had 31 minutes. What? He was in foul trouble along with Karl, but they managed not to foul out. That's something you can talk shit about. You know, Pacers, man, we got these guys in foul trouble. You can't capitalize on that. We're having shades of deja vu. We fucking did that, get Shaq in foul trouble, and then when we finally did get him fouled out, you have Kobe go off. But I'm just saying, like, he should have fouled out more than just at the time, though. He was in foul trouble all the time. I need to digress because that's not what I was trying to talk about. So Brunson had 31 minutes. He didn't miss a free throw. He came up in the clutch. He had 23 points at the end of the day. -6. Brunson had one of the worst stats in the plus-minus stat. Was that differential when you're on the floor bullshit? Brunson was -6, 3 turnovers, 1 assist, 1 3. Brunson was not, this has been a theme. Brunson keeps getting in foul trouble. He can't keep doing that. Not if they want to come back and win the series. So that's something to keep an eye on. Is Brunson going to keep getting in foul trouble? It seems it's starting to become a pattern. But he came up clutch. I had to get my hate in there though. He came up clutch. He didn't miss a free throw. Motherfucker didn't miss a free throw. He's rested. He's used to playing 40 minutes a game. He only had to play 31 minutes. Brunson's like, I didn't have to do anything. But now 10 from the free throw line. Quite a few of those were in crunch time. So gotta give respect there. Mikal Bridges had 15. OG had 16 points, respectfully. I felt like Miles McBride, he had an impactful 9 points off the bench. He really was before Carl. McBride had those, he had some big shots in the first half when it looked like before the Knicks really came back. Like, he's helped with that. Impactful 9 points for McBride. Hart had 8 points and 10 rebounds in 34 minutes. Wright and Shamet, they only got to play because those guys were in foul trouble. Like, whatever. Don't even know who those guys are. So we're going to rush the rest of this because I want to see if I have enough time to talk about some goofy stuff. Halliburton, 20 points? He had 3 turnovers, too. I swear to God, if he doesn't mention that Halliburton had 3 turnovers. Strawman Theory says what? Halliburton had 3 turnovers. No, Halliburton had 20 points, 7 assists. He was 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 8 from the 3. He couldn't hit a 3. That became a theme. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Let me randomly talk about, like, everybody's calling people a free throw merchant and shit. Halliburton's not one. But, like, I don't really get into this free throw merchant. Like, there's differences. I look at it in categories, kind of. Like, I don't mind people drawing fouls, right? I don't like bad fouls, like fouls that get called that weren't fouls. I don't like missed fouls. But ticky-tack fouls are still fouls. Like, as much as it's hard to watch and as annoying as you might find it, I really don't have a big problem with it, really. I mean, a foul's a foul, bro. Like, if you have an art or a way to draw fouls and finesse you some points, like, the idea is to score buckets, right? But I don't know. I just, whatever. But, yeah, I don't like bad fouls. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't like missed fouls. I don't like when they call it a foul and it's not a foul. That's the shit I don't like. Like, I'm going to blame the refs before I blame anybody. Neesmith and Nembhard combined for 4 of 17 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Neesmith and Nembhard combined for 17 points. So, yeah, Neesmith got hurt, but he came back. He looked fine. Got to get better production out of them. I'm sure we will. Miles Turner was at 19 and 4. Is that what that says? 1 of 6 from 3. So he was 6 of 12 from the field besides that. But, like I said, we couldn't hit a 3. Siakam wasn't that great, minus 21. Had 17 points, though. Pacers was technically better, had a technically better field goal percentage. But both teams hit 34 field goals. Pacers had 77 attempts. The Knicks had 78. We didn't make a 3. We only had 5 threes combined to the Knicks 11. We shot 20% from 3. Free throws, all this stuff was really balanced out. It was strange to look at these team stats without watching it. It's easy to say it was the threes, but really we made a rookie mistake. We checked out. We went up 20. I'm telling you, we went up 20 and the team did what I did. We just these Knicks, y'all are sorry. We just assumed, first we assumed we was going to win the game, and then I saw shades of trying not to lose, or he wasn't really playing at the tempo we're capable of. It looked like we was playing a scrimmage out there in the second half. So, it's a rookie mistake. I'm not very worried. I got a little bit of time because people are talking about rigged. Is it rigged? I don't, if it's rigged, it's been rigged. There's sketchy shit. It's hard for me to explain it. All it takes is one dude. All it takes is 1 or 2 guys. Doesn't mean the whole league has to be in it. All it takes is one guy to just have some weird intentions, really. So, whatever. If it's rigged, it's been rigged. Pacers got Caitlin Clark though, so I got a theory, every kind of theory for the Pacers. You want to go conspiracy theory? It's rigged for the Pacers. We got Caitlin Clark. Are you kidding me? We're coming back. Nobody's missing the title more than the Indiana Pacers. In the league, not even the Final Four, the whole league. Nobody is missing a title more than the Pacers. I'm going to have to do an expectation video. Whatever, this is my Game 3 reaction, man. I get a great, good game by the Knicks. And let's go. I'm ready for Game 4. I'll see you then.